Hello out there everybody, this is Michael with Hypostylin Reviews, and today we're going to be looking at one of my favorites, the cult classic, Friday the 13th Part 3. Ah, the 50s. The decade of baby boomers, I Love Lucy, and an exciting new theatrical technology known as 3D. Theatergoers got their first glimpse of 3D in feature film form with the 1952 premiere of The Bwana Devil, an adventure film about British colonists fighting off a pair of wild lions. 3D was fun for a while, but interest dwindled fast as television became the prime source of entertainment.
Hello, Ralph.
Hello. How'd you know it was me?
I could feel the floor sag.
However, little did filmmakers back then know that this technology would become in vogue once again 30 years later, looking, shall we say, a little bit more extreme. Ouch. With the rise of lucrative horror franchises like Jaws, Halloween, and Friday the 13th, exploitation films saw a shift from the grindhouse to the major movie studio. Filmmakers used these low-rent horror productions as venues in which they could experiment with new marketing techniques and gimmicks, most notably the resurrection of 3D. Along with Jaws 3D and Amityville 3D, Friday the 13th Part 3 brought three-dimensional technology back into multiplexes in full force. These films were huge moneymakers back in the early 80s and helped define an entire generation of horror film lovers. But how does Friday the 13th Part 3 hold up today, 26 years later, and in two-dimensional DVD format? Well, if the original Friday the 13th is distilled slasher heaven, this third film is vaporized bloody bliss. Friday the 13th Part 3 is pared down to the fundamental essentials of the slasher subgenre and is all the better for it. Like other films in the 80s 3D craze, it is blatantly clear that significantly more time was spent on getting the effects right than fleshing out the characters and storyline.
Oh, it's probably Debbie having an orgasm. How come you never scream when we have sex?
Give me something to scream about.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I was just practicing.
In any other genre, this would sink a movie. But not in a slasher film. Friday the 13th Part 3 graciously skirts the hackneyed idea of Jason not drowning in Crystal Lake and coming back to avenge his mother's death decades later, and instead turns him into an anonymous killer. Indeed, Jason's name is never uttered, not even once, during the entire film, unless you count the archival footage from the previous film tacked on to the beginning. For me, the complete lack of a backstory for Jason in this film augmented his frightening mythos, and, combined with his acquisition of his trademark hockey mask, put him on the trajectory towards becoming one of the major pop culture icons of the 1980s. As far as the performances go,
He looks just like my grandfather.
I must be in heaven.
well, you get what you usually expect in a slasher film. Dana Kimmel plays our heroine this time around, and she's a mediocre actress at best. Just watch her deliver this little doozy of a line.
You go ahead. I'm gonna take my bags in the house first and look around.
Huh. Huh. However, Kimmel is strikingly beautiful in that glitzy 80s soap star kind of way. And she's pretty tough in the extended finale, while also managing to hit a few nice congenial notes that suit the final girl trope well. Plus, Amy Steele, the final girl from Part 2, is an impossible act to follow.
Jason! It's all done, Jason. You've done your job well, and Mommy is pleased.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Larry Zerner, who, as the portly and piteous practical joker Shelley, won the hearts of millions of Friday the 13th fans, who, incidentally, tend to be rather portly and piteous themselves. Okay, I'm sorry about that, fanboys. I really am on your side, I promise.
It was a joke! It was just a joke! I didn't mean to.
If it wasn't for Amy Steele's spirited performance in Part 2, this would easily be the best sequel in this lengthy series. It's condensed slasher goodness with less filling. It's, the archetypical Friday film. It's also quite a treat in 3D from what I hear. Basically, it's genius in its stupidity. And really the best kind of cheese. It goes great with a full-bodied Pinot Noir. One final word about the hockey mask. Yes, it is great, and it's sort of an iconic artifact of horror pop culture. I really kind of prefer the bag-over-the-head look that Jason sported in Part 2, with the overalls and the plaid shirt. I think that sort of completes the sort of idea of the backwoods slasher Jason that we thought he would be. It's just sort of gritty and sort of organic, and it's more real and natural. And I know the Friday series is, kind of ridiculous and ludicrous to begin with, but there's a sort of strange realism overlaying that sort of ensemble that Jason had. But I understand the appeal of the hockey mask as well, and its introduction in this film makes it, another sort of worthy entry in the series. So, with that, I'll leave you. Thank you for watching. This is Michael with Hypostyling Reviews.
Is this your rubber? Didn't your mama teach you manners? If you want something, you ask. Nice.
Please, be cool.
May I please have the wallet?
You mean, may I please have the wallet, ma'am?
May I please have the wallet, ma'am?
That's good. That's real nice.